got a special guest in studio once again. Dr. Viviana Coles is back.
Yay! Good morning.
She's got your answers about love, action, and intimacy. That's what it's all about. Action and action.
You have to have love with that.
No, love, action, intimacy.
always
Hi,
nice.
Dr. V.
That's always nice.
Let me get you a little closer to the mic there to make sure we're loud and clear.
Because
Sorry,
last
my
time you were...
finger's trapped. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I was covering his finger off.
Did you see that?
That was hilarious. I mean, not funny, but
My finger, it's okay. It didn't
because
hurt.
it's all right.
It could have hurt,
I
but
just
it
wanted
didn't
you
hurt.
closer.
I know. It's like,
But last time you were here,
Yeah.
we're going to make a big announcement, but we couldn't do it yet.
Couldn't.
I was all excited, but we couldn't talk about it. But
What's
now we
the big
can.
announcement?
Now we can.
Drum roll, please.
I am Houston Chronicle's first ever relationship columnist.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I know. It was so wild when they're like, you would be our first. And I said, what?
in all the years the Chronicles
They've
existed, they've never
never?
had that?
That's wild to me.
That is wild.
Totally wild to me. So I am
Especially in the 80s, that was
thrilled.
what life was.
Right?
Yes.
That's all it was.
They had like a Dear
So-
Abby and stuff, I
Yeah.
guess, right?
Exactly. So yeah, this is the start of something beautiful, a beautiful relationship. And I'm really excited because this is going to be where I get to go really deep. So if you have dilemmas, so this isn't just the AMA sort of thing. This is actual relationship intimacy dilemmas. Give me all the deets and I'll be able to share it in
Now-
the column.
Now, is it like you do like one, you pick one each week, or do you pick 3 or 4? It all depends how,
Yeah, how many
some
are
are
there?
short.
So as of right now, I'm picking one each week, and
then
so that's
deep
why
dive.
more information is better because some of these are a little bit more broad, and this is an opportunity for so much more. So I have been picking the toughest, grittiest, most difficult, and you'll see it this week.
Okay,
Oh,
so
fantastic.
it's already in the Sunday Chronicle.
Yeah, if
and
you
at
got
chron.com.
last Sunday's paper, then you already kind of saw the introduction to it. But now we're going to get into the actual responses,
And it'll be online
nice.
as well on cron.com.
of course, yes, you
And
can
you-
find it all over.
Tell us how to reach out to you if we want to have our dilemma as a spotlight in your column.
Yeah, so just head over to Dear Dr. V. That's DearDrV.com. DearDrV.com. It's at my website. So,
Yeah, and then there's a link
that.
right there that says start here, and it'll take you right through to the Chronicle.
Yeah.
So you
and
can
do
write-
the official form.
Congratulations. Look at that. You're on. So now you're on everything.
Yeah.
TV, radio, and print.
TV, radio, and print, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm so
Trifecta.
excited.
Woo!
I know.
Look at you.
Thanks, guys.
Bravo,
And you've done
Dr.
reality
V.
shows. You've done that.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Dr. V has 20 years of experience. She's the founder of Houston Relationship Therapy. She has a doctorate in marriage and family therapy, and she's a licensed marriage and family therapist, as well as a certified sex therapist. There's a lot you can ask her about, and you could do a lot of asking for a friend.
Oh, I'm asking for a friend. I always wanted to ask you, have you ever had a couple come in and I know, all right, just total truth here. Have you ever had somebody come in and you're like, oh no, this is not good. They can't be together.
Yes, that happened actually this week.
Oh, really?
Yes, it doesn't happen often because there's so much hope and a lot of people can come in. But when someone is already shut down and shut out their partner, that is very difficult. Like, I'm not here to
Oh, yeah.
convince someone to love someone else or to be into someone else.
And you shouldn't have to.
And you shouldn't have to. And guess what? Their other partner should not have to try to convince them either. So I think at that point, it does feel like it's a bit too late, but it's still worth it for at least for each of them to have that individual experience of talking through the questions and the answers.
Oh, yeah, because Dr. V, we had a girl reach out to us on our listener line because, you know, we are not licensed therapists, but we feel like we are after 22 years.
Right?
You know some things.
And I remember in her, the tone of her voice on the listener line, she had booked this romantic vacation with her boyfriend that she'd had since high school just to try and find the romance again. And he was totally ghosting her on the trip. He was on his phone the whole time. I mean, we had all
Yeah,
agreed, like,
that's-
listen, I'm sorry to tell you this, but he has checked out. He has
Yeah.
moved on. There's a new phase of life. Because it was real like a desperate attempt, like, we're going to go on this romantic vacation. I'm going to bring that fire back and we're going to be together, going to make him love me again. If you have to say it out loud, I'm going to make somebody love me again.
Uh-huh.
That's a
Yeah,
problem, right?
That's a real problem. And I think the other part of it is that it's like, okay, so then let's say they do show interest in you. Maybe he has sex with her on that vacation. What kind of message are you really getting? And is that going to be something more long-term that you can trust? Probably not.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, we're in the moment, and
Well,
now
and
we're
it's
back to
vacation.
reality.
That's
and it's like,
vacation, yeah.
Vacation's
Yeah.
totally different. You're like, don't have the everyday stressors.
You're in a fantasy.
Yeah,
It's not
a fantasy.
reality.
it's like Bachelor and Bachelorette.
Oh,
They
yeah.
go on these exotic locales for all their dates.
Of course they're going to fall in
How
love.
about you just have to go to HEB together?
I know, right?
It's interesting you said trust.
should do that.
Costco.
When
I'm trying to
somebody-
spend
I'm going
$100.
grocery shopping with my husband,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
That's my husband I call
He
date
loves
night.
it. I don't.
Yeah, we call it date night.
When trust is broken,
Yeah.
how can that ever be restored?
Well, that's a huge question. And I think you'll find that with so many people where they feel like trust has been broken. If their partner is not willing to do things very differently, if their partner is saying, like, look, you should get over it, which I hear all the time. I was just doing supervision with my interns, and they're like, 3 different ones said, yeah, it kept saying, why can't you get over it? Why can't you get past this betrayal? But they're not willing to do anything to help move their partner.
So what's
in
the best
that
thing to say
direction.
then when you want to tell your mate to get over it, but you can't? Like, what can I do to help?
Yes. What do
Get
you
you-
need to see from me today
To
that
get
would
over-
help you to understand that I want to rebuild trust with you, that I understand that I've lost it to begin with, and that I'm in a hole that I need to dig out of? Most people don't, they think, well, the deceit is no longer happening, so I'm out of the hole. No, you're not.
Do people want points for coming clean about an affair? Like, say they didn't get caught and they told their wife, like, they
Well, at least
had
I told you.
And it's like, at least I came clean, but it's like, well,
I
you-
haven't heard that, and I think that's because that would probably elicit some sort of physical response, like "What?
Yeah.
Bam!" No, no, I haven't heard that.
Okay.
Dr. Viviana Coles is in our studio here on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric, and she just announced that she is the first ever relationship columnist for the Houston Chronicle. You can find that on Sundays, and you can be part of it if you just go to the website, Dear Dr. V, Dear Dr. Dr. V.com, and you can fill out the form. Okay, here's my question for you. It's a little metaphorical analogy. I have heard from cancer doctors before that somebody could get a terrible diagnosis, but because of their attitude and their family support, they make it through. And then somebody who has a very treatable type, they don't make it through because they don't have support or the mind frame. Have you seen that in relationships where somebody had like multiple cheats and they got past it? But then you have another couple that comparatively to the multiple cheat couple is like a really light problem and they didn't get past it.
Yep, 100%
Really?
that can happen. Not that it's mind over matter, but truly like feelings and actions, there's a lot of mind in that. So I think what I've seen a lot more of is when people say like, hey, I just don't know if this is going to be something that I can get over. And if it is, how do I know that I should trust and not necessarily still verify? Because this is the part that a lot of cheaters don't understand. The person that's cheated on did not sign up to be a
No.
paranoid, surveilling,
But that's what they'll do. They'll
scared
turn it
person.
around.
Into that.
They'll say, "Oh my God, you're behaving like a madman.
Yeah,
you're,
and it's like,
you're
well,
crazy."
you put me
it's
in
like,
this position,
Yeah, what
and
brought
now
you to
you're
that
not willing
point?
to like help console me through it and walk me through it. I didn't want to be in this position either. So sometimes they'll break up even like a year later because they're like, well, I didn't sign up to be this person. Like, I don't want to feel uneasy all
That's
the
a good
time.
point. Didn't sign up to be the paranoid
Didn't
person.
sign up for this.
Okay, opposite question from what Ryan had asked. As far as you seeing somebody, you're like, okay, let's just call this. Have you ever seen a couple saying, "We're throwing in the towel," and you're like, but your problem is totally fixable.
it's right there. Like,
You guys aren't working hard
This
enough.
week has been nuts for me. I'm so glad I'm here because, yes, that happened this week as well, where I was with this
wow.
couple. And then, of course, I meet with them together, usually for 2 hours for that first session. And then I meet with them separately on a different day for an hour each. And in that hour each, I'm like looking at them and saying, wow, you both want the same thing. And you both actually have had it before. You're feeling like, I think it's more competitive at
What's
that
holding
point.
them back? Ego?
Ego. Usually it's ego, or they're just tired. They need a break from like all of the pain and like suffering, so to say. And so if they get that, then they can usually revive themselves.
Okay, you're saying you're just tired. Just reminded me what we talked about at the end of the school year, how so many parents who are becoming as empty nesters. There's like some number we've repeated, Dr. V, on the air about all these moms that drop the divorce bomb on the dads. And they're like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
Like, I've been waiting for this. I'm tired
are out
of
of
you and I'm out.
They're going to college or they're out of college
Yeah.
and they're just ready to.
Is it, if the woman calls it and she's like, I'm tired of this, I'm just out of this, is there any chance for the man? Is there any hope for the man
is
to
there a
get her
percentage?
back?
Yeah, what's the percentage on that one?
Oh my gosh. I have another couple where it's a similar situation where she called it. And I think, and he's like, oh my gosh, I need to win her back. I'm like, She did not say she wanted a divorce before she actually meant it. So now that she has said it, she actually means it. Most women, conscientious women, don't just throw the word divorce out there without actually meaning it. Like that, they got to that point where it's like, okay, now I'm going to say this because this isn't just an empty threat.
It's like the man can say it like 10 times.
So the truth
but
is,
when
you,
the woman
you
says
will
it, it's
know
for real.
if you're listening to this and your partner has said it. You will know based off of their history and who their personality is and all that, who they are, whether or not they actually mean it.
Wow. See all the things we're learning? Dr. Viviana Coles. She is the first ever relationship therapist for the Houston Chronicle.
Congrats.
Find it on Sundays and be part of it by going to DrV.com, and you can fill out the questionnaire there and the form there. When we come back on the other side, we'll have more with Dr.
Especially with the
Viviana
summertime. Summer's officially starting today.
Coles. Vacations
Sexy
are
switch.
looming.
Things you've seen. When it comes to summertime, we should be careful with
Maybe some
relationships.
hurdles that might come our way in relationships
Yep.
when it comes to
Got it.
summertime and vacations. We'll talk about all that next on The Real and Ryan Show with Eric. Yeah, pate on The Real and Ryan Show with Eric. That is Bruno Mars and Rose on 104.1 KRBE. Dr. Viviana Coles is
Hi,
live in
Viviana.
our studio once again. Hello, Dr. V.
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Now, if you're just tuning in, just waking up, it's just
Big
been
news got
announced.
announced.
that
Big
you
news.
are going to be the columnist for the Chronicle
First
for
ever.
relationships.
All things relationships, get your dilemmas. I want juicy, hard, difficult things that you're like, no way. There's no way anybody can help me with this. I want to hear it.
And if she can't do it, bring it to us.
Yeah.
We'll bring stuff up.
I just
We'll just tell you how we feel.
You know how here on the show we just think of things and we throw it out to you. So we're going to mutually throw this out together at one point, not now. But I was saying, what's the most superficial thing you'd divorce your mate
Yeah,
over?
next time you come, we'll do that.
Because we were talking with Dr. V between the breaks about how in her column on Sunday, you can throw her the dilemma at Dr. V.
DearDrV.com.
DearDrV.com. Yes, DearDrV.com. And, you were talking about this laundry basket situation and, the household chores and the mental load that women carry. We're talking about all this stuff in the middle of the breaks. And it's true. Like right before we ended the last break, you said when a woman says, I'm divorcing you, that is the word.
Yeah.
The man could say it 10 times, but when the woman says it, women don't throw it out like men do, right?
Not typically. Of course, you want to take into consideration your own partner. Maybe they are very reactive. But if she's not, then if she says it, you need to think, oh, wow, this is really it.
It's over.
Over the laundry basket!
For my wife, I'd be like, she's always like, where's my phone? I lost my phone. Where's my phone? I want to buy one of those nerd holsters. And make her just put your phone in
nerd
this.
holster.
I'm so sick of hearing, where's my phone?
Yeah.
Have you seen my phone?
Well,
That'll be a good topic.
to that point, Eric, that could be one of those little things that drive you crazy stuff that leads up to vacationing together, because we were talking about how it's summertime, couples going on vacation, families going on vacation, like little things that your mate does before a trip that is going to start to grate your nerves.
How about when the relationship just started? When is in your opinion,
Yeah.
when should they go on vacation? Like, say they just started dating in April.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
June now.
Yeah, I think if you can do that type of trial within the first 6 months.
Oh,
For 6
really?
months. Okay.
Yeah, get out there, because how people travel, if that's a big part of your life, and if you'd like for it to be a big part of your relationship, how you travel together can completely make or break a relationship.
Because some people get very stressed out when they have to fly or travel somewhere, and you can see the worst in people.
Or you
Yeah.
find out they're rookies. You're like, wait, what? You're not TSA pre-check?
not a rookie.
You're not TSA
Right?
pre-check.
Have you been in an airport before?
I know, you're right.
Shoes off, dummy.
Exactly, Kevin, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know how many couples are gobsmacked in the security line when they realize their partner doesn't know how to travel? And they're like, wait, what do you mean you don't know you have to take your shoes off? You're not TSA pre-check.
You have
Get your shoes off.
2 full water bottles in your bag. I cannot with you. You're staying in Houston.
And I bet Kevin gets mad if Booster wants to check a bag in. No.
Oh, yeah.
He
No,
never
you-
does. He
you just
never
learned
does.
from you.
45 minutes
knows.
to our
Trained him.
journey.
Like you said, a perfect travel
I
partner.
plan,
There
like,
you go.
I plan like I'm going to crap my pants every day because I got 14 pairs of underwear for 2 days.
Well,
Sure.
okay,
Like,
that's
I've always heard
just
of-
typical. That's typical
I'm
of
like,
men.
okay, I gotta
But here's the other part. What
overpack.
if they're the kind of people who love every trip is not just a trip, it's a vacation, and they want to get up at 10, 11 o'clock, and you're like, I want to go see the sights, and
yeah,
it's at
that's-
7
Get up at 7 a.m. We have a whole
But yet, then
itinerary
the
to
other one
tackle.
just wants to lay on the chaise lounge by the pool
Yes.
the
I
I think
entire
they'll
time.
fake
That's
it
right.
until we get the ring on.
Ooh.
The
I
first
hope
6 months,
not.
you get up at 7 a.m. to go hike a volcano
Yes.
in Hawaii or something. But then you're married, and 2 years in, you're like, I
And
don't
you're
want
like,
to
I'm
do that crap.
exhausted. I'm sleeping here.
Gosh. See,
Bait and
these are the
switch?
things,
Is it
that's a bait and switch. These are the things that people end up divorcing over. And they're like, it's because you didn't get up early enough to go with me on that hike. No, it's like that times 20. But yeah,
Right.
it's a lot. I don't know. I think traveling with somebody says so much about you. It says so much about them. But being able to determine what kind of experience you want to have before you have it and talk about like what your goals are. I always ask my couples before they go on a trip. At Houston Relationship Therapy, we talk about this all the time. What are your goals for this trip as a couple? Because they might be going to a wedding, they might be going on to a seminar, they might be visiting family. But if they don't keep each other at top of mind, then it's a wasted opportunity.
True.
Well, is that only if they're traveling together as a couple, or if you have kids?
Oh yeah, no. You can always do things as a couple. Of course, you can say, okay, what are the goals as a family? What are we wanting to do with that? But how can we also make this an opportunity for us to connect? Every single day is an opportunity to connect, and if you're wasting it, and if it happens too often, you will run into trouble.
If you're just tuning in to the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric, that is the voice of Dr. Viviana Coles. She has 20 years of experience and she's the founder of Houston Relationship Therapy. She has a doctorate in marriage and family therapy, and she's a licensed marriage and family therapist, and she's a certified sex therapist. And just real quick, I want to read this text, Dr. V.
Okay.
This person says, I tried to divorce my husband 15 years ago, and he won me back. We're better than ever, and we've been married 26 years now. Bravo to
Won
you.
you back.
That's really good.
Yes.
You know how I won you back.
Better
Maybe
than
focus
ever. I
on
love to
one
hear
day.
that. Yeah.
I like to hear that.
I mean, that happens too. The whole like we hit rock bottom and then we were able to come out of it. I would love to hear at least one way that he won her back, though.
Yeah.
Because it could have been something like, oh my gosh, he made this complete 180. Or it could have been that she was like, I just needed him to know how serious this was to me.
Now, Viviana,
gotcha.
you're dealing with couples primarily, but have you ever been in a situation where you've dealt with a couple and then, unfortunately, the relationship ends? Do you counsel one or the other, or do you counsel both? Like, especially when you see a situation where one didn't want it and the other one did, and one is at home weeping and the other one is out living life and whooping it up.
Okay, I had a week. I already told y'all last segment. I had a week. Literally, my last clients yesterday. That's what happened. They broke up in the session. It was very sad for both. He was like, I need to continue to come and see you because I don't want to be dealing with these issues forever. And I think that they'll follow me. And she was like, I think I'm good. And so I'm not good. I don't like chase people if they want to come back to therapy.
Yeah.
I will see them separately as individuals. And we do try to make an effort to not schedule them back to back. That way
Oh,
they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
running
They don't have to
into
see
each
each
other.
other, yeah.
If they're coming in.
That'd be awkward.
That can be awkward. It rarely happens, but when it happens, it's not that big a deal. Like,
But
they get
I
it.
would feel like as a patient of yours, Dr. V, then that would might make it easier to continue with you because you know the background, the history.
That's
instead
exactly
of finding
right.
a new person, having to
Yep.
rehash your whole life with a new person.
That's exactly right. And I think a lot of therapists are they deter them. Maybe their supervisors or what will deter them from seeing individuals that were once a couple. But I find that I've been doing this for 22 years now, 23 years. I know how to do it. I know how to do that. So I will see couples as individuals, and you never know. Sometimes they find their way back to each other, and for them, it's like now we just need to go back to couples
Oh,
counseling.
maybe you scheduled them back to back by accident.
Oh gosh, no! I don't need that
Reconciliation
drama.
in the lobby.
Have you ever seen two of
That's
your
a reality TV show.
I know, right?
Have you ever seen two of your clients they get divorced and then they end up being together?
Look what I mean.
You
Oh,
had a
like
cou-
they
you had a
dated other
couple,
people?
and they got divorced, and then you had this other couple. They got divorced.
Oh, and
and
those
and
partners
those ended
all
up together?
and
switched
they're
out.
in your room. You're like, wait a minute, I had you two before with other people.
That's funny.
I can't ever say for sure that it's like they saw each other and met each other, but I have had clients come in with other partners that used to be clients, but they would never know unless they tell them, which often they do. But
Got it.
I'm like, oh, okay.
That's what they
I
do to
saw
come back
her in
to
my
you.
last relationship I had problems with. Now I'm seeing her with you.
Hey, Dr. V, the person that texted us about the husband winning her back responded. What did he do to
good.
win you back? She said he started doing housework. He got very involved with our kids, and he
Yes.
planned dates.
That is
That's really good.
That right there, those three things would make a huge difference in so many of the couples that are struggling. Feeling like you have a partner, not just a roommate, not just another dependent. Being a good parent is always sexy and attractive. I don't care who you are. And then, of course, the dates. Yes, I was
And
just
she
talking
said
about
he's
this
kept it
yesterday.
up. That's the key. He's kept it up. Smiley face.
That's awesome.
How about this one? This is a text question. My husband will not do counseling, and I don't know what else to do without threatening to leave at this point. He just doesn't see where I'm coming from with stuff.
So
Okay. So
I
What
would
do you tell
ask
her?
him very specifically, I need to know why you will not meet with a third party to help our relationship. Because that's ultimately what he's
Because he'll
saying
say,
is he doesn't want
because you're going to set it up, and then you two are just going to gang up on me.
to. Okay.
That's what guys
So
always say.
they-
They're going to gang up on
Spot
me and
on.
always pick
And I
up.
always hear them say, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I'm so glad I came in. I will tell her she needs to go in. Regardless of if he's not, she can always bring some of this back to the relationship. And there's some kind of like a little pressure to get him to come in. And what I always tell the guys is, look, just come in one time to give me your perspective. To consult on your own
Right, so I
relationship.
can hear your side
and
of
then
the
if
story,
you don't
like
want to
couples
come
court.
back, you don't come back. I'm not like thrilled about that, but typically when they come in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is not what I thought it was. Thank you so much. You really hear me. I feel like you're on our relationship side,
Because
not
you're
on
not picking
her
a
side."
side. You're just trying to help.
No, I'm on the side of a healthy relationship, and so I'm always going to be putting that at the forefront. And if that's not there, out.
Dr. Viviana Coles, have you ever been eating dinner with your family and you hear something at the other table and you're like, I'm sorry, I have to intersect.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
interject. You guys have got it. I mean, really, because your life is this.
It
You
is.
can't turn it off. If you were in a restaurant with your family celebrating like your mom's birthday and you heard some couple having a Biggersons moment, are you like, I'm sorry, can I just interject for a
Or
second?
they're on their
guys?
phones. They're on their
I
phones.
can
on-
really
Oh,
easily
that's
help y'all
so-
solve
They're not
this.
even talking to each other.
So yeah, I carry cards on me all the
There you
time.
go. Oh, that'd be
Absolutely.
So you're always
How do
on.
you turn it off?
My husband has like dropped my card on a table as we're walking out.
Oh, that'd be
That is
wow.
amazing.
Now look, that can also seem really rude. So if I've done that and you took it
seem
the
like
wrong
you
way,
really need help.
but I promise I'm just trying to help.
Oh, that's
Because everything that you're saying, I mean, you've got an answer because you've seen a lot of things in over 20 years.
I have. I
so
can
you
help.
have a
I
lot of
promise.
advice to give, and I can't imagine how you turn it off. So you're probably like, oh, I heard what y'all are going through over there. Let me tell you, here's a quick fix.
Imagine they just dropping it down on their table. Yeah.
Right in the
That's
middle of the
hilarious.
argument.
That might be a good wake up call for the couple.
Yeah, totally.
Like you're putting out this energy, everybody around you can see that you two are not healthy together.
We've all seen and heard that couple fighting, and it actually makes your dinner uncomfortable
Yes.
a lot of
It
times.
does.
It's
Okay.
like, should we
Totally.
move? Are
over.
they going to see us move? Is it going to beat me up if I do?
Or the card that will drop on their table is one that says, please email Dear Dr. V
Yep.
and be in the column. Houston Chronicle, on Sundays, you'll see Dr. Viviana Coles' column. Go to Dear Dr. V, and DR is doctor, the shortened version of doctor.com. There you can fill out the form and be part of her article on Sundays, part of her column. Thanks so much for stopping by
Yeah,
again.
thank you so much.
Thanks for
Happy
having me.
summer, Dr.
Love you,
V.
Houston.
Yay.
Now, coming up next, I'm going to be a part of a big event this weekend, Saturday night, and we want to teach you all about what's going on. Our friend Carmen is coming in,
Nice.
and it's actually fashion, fitness,
And
and
swim.
swimwear.
So Ryan's going to be in a mankini.
If you're in a Speedo, you
and
would
he'll
sell
be
so many
emceeing
tickets.
the
Oh
mankini
my
runway.
God! Everybody would run out the door
No,
immediately.
they
No,
pay to get in there.
I pay to get in there. And he doesn't manscape, I guess.
Oh, why would you say that? Don't put that out
If you're
there.
going to do a mankini and somebody throws you in one, Ryan, you see, you need to be prepared to know
gotta
that's
be
coming
ready.
at you.
Oh, my
You got to
Stay
be
ready.
manscaped.
Stay
If somebody
ready.
made you get in one, I bet you'd be like, I'm not manscaped for this.
Yeah, I have pictures of him in the Bahamas where it's fluffy.
From Hollywood to H-Town.
Celebrity Scoop on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE.
All right, we usually do Scoop here, brought to you by Taqueria Randas, but some Scoop you need to know about is that there's a big event happening tomorrow at the Post, tomorrow night at 401 Franklin Street. And it is one that we have talked about before with our friend Carmen Martinez, who's coming to the studio. It's called Fashion Fitness Swim, and Ryan's involved in it too. Hi, Carmen. Welcome back to the
Hey,
show.
Carmen, good morning.
Thanks for having me.
Hello.
Yeah, so-
and you brought a guest, Brandon
Yes,
Hendrickson. Hello, Brandon.
Hi, good
Hey,
morning.
Brandon.
Good morning.
Guys, who's Brandon? Brandon. I don't know a lot about bodybuilding, honey, but I have heard of the Mr. Olympia contest, and you are a 3-time Mr. Olympia World Bodybuilding Champion.
Wow, that is
Amazing.
amazing.
This man is very fit, and he makes us feel not fit at all in our studio.
How do you think I feel? I'll be emceeing tomorrow night. All these people that are in this incredible shape, and I'm like,
Fashion Fitness Swim. Tell us, Carmen, what this is about, and then, Brandon, you tell us your involvement with all that.
Yeah, so we're excited to have Brandon. It's our 5th year anniversary. He's been part of the event since year 1, so he flew down, and we're going to really celebrate men this year. The objective of the show is is that we celebrate Men's Health Month. We have amazing vendors, workshops. This year we added free workshop for the community. And it's really to educate how can you support the men in your life. And it's all benefiting the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Because men don't talk about their emotions. They hide their feelings. They're too proud for it. Brandon is representing the fitness portion of the show.
Exactly. So the segment is fashion, fitness, and swimwear. And one of the main components is the speaking, how men need to kind of open up. And Brandon is very good on his advocacy on his platform. So he has a huge following, and he's always talking about mental health.
Absolutely. As a men's physique Mr. Olympia world champion,
That's right,
you know,
sir.
the most important thing is just having a good mental and emotional state. And that only comes from just having good people around you, having a good support system. In order for me to bring 100% Brandon Hendrickson, my emotional and my mental state has to be on point, or else I just don't bring 100% confidence in myself on that stage.
When did you realize that you can show your emotion? When you're like a 12-year-old, 20-year-old?
yeah.
Did it take you? Because you know how it is as guys. It's hard for, we grew up with our dads. We can remember on our hand how many times our dads really
Never saw him cry.
cried.
Never saw him show any emotion
Yeah,
whatsoever.
thank God I grew up with my family, and I'm a pretty emotional person, so I'm always just like really opening with my feelings.
Are you a
never
youngest
really
child
hide.
or an
I'm the
oldest
only
child?
child.
An only child.
Okay.
child.
I wanna
Sometimes
tell y'all-
youngest children are more in touch with their emotions,
Sure.
like boys, I feel like, because they have older siblings that will help guide them.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're an only child and you were always in touch with your emotions, that's really good too.
Well, I have a big family too. I have a lot of cousins, a lot of little cousins, uncles. So we've always never really we've always just been really open with our feelings.
good.
That's fantastic.
I love that.
One of the things I want to let everybody know, this is not like a somber event. This is a party. It is a lot of fun. You mentioned the vendors. There's so many fun things to do. Then the runway show is a blast. You got cocktails flowing.
What is
It
the attire,
a
guys?
lot
It's
of fun.
Somebody listening when they would go, what's the
we
attire?
celebrate the summer. So it's basically summer fashion. The main thing is all the boutiques and designers that are part of the runway are local entrepreneurs, local designers. So we love to support that. And it's the main thing. It's a celebration of the summer. We kick off the summer. So within the fashion show, that's the entertainment. But then we have a men's health area where we have physical therapists. We have therapists, psychiatrists, people in health and wellness. So you go in, you walk through the vendor area, you educate yourself. This year we have the Harris Center that's going to be there supporting Talk About 988 suicide prevention. So
Yeah, my friend
it's a
Tiffany's
show.
gonna be there.
Yep, it's a show, it's a party, but it's also a way that people can walk in, connect, make community a main thing, and then walking away with what can I do next steps to support someone.
If you're just tuning in to the Rule and Ryan show with Eric, we have special guest voices in the studio. Everybody's like, who's that? Who's that? That's Carmen Martinez. She's the founder of the mental health advocate and community leader, Fashion Fitness Swim LLC. Fashion Fitness Swim is an event happening tomorrow night at the Post at 401 Franklin Street. You can go to the website fashionfitnessswim.com to get your tickets. And Brandon Hendrickson is here with her because he's part of the event, and he is a 3-time Mr. Olympia World Bodybuilding Champion. And this is an event that anybody can get tickets to. What am I dressing out? Like summer chic, summer fun? What am I wearing?
Yeah,
Is it
summer
formal?
fun.
What am I wearing?
Yep, we have some people even come with athleisure. You know, athleisure is
Okay.
fashionable. So anything around summer attire, very casual. You know, something you feel good in. One of the main things that why we push even the fitness world is the body positivity. We have models from all types of ethnicities, background. And Brandon, like I said, he's been there since day one. He brings that fitness world.
And Brandon, did you bring your own swim trunks? Or
Yeah.
Of course. Stay ready.
Are they like sponsored by something, or you bring your own?
They just want the guys to take their shirts off and be,
Yeah.
swimsuit is the last scene. But he's amazing, and I think his body positivity. He has his girlfriend Genesis behind the scene over here recording. And I think one thing about men, the topic conversation is that men need to be supportive. The moment that we need to do is open up to them. They're going to open up. One of the theme this year is the Post and Eden Plan Co. They hosted these free workshops last year for Men's Health Week. And we covered so many different topics. Ryan has been part of it. People know when they walk in, it is a fashion show. It is fun vibes, but we're there for a purpose and to raise awareness to suicide prevention. And we also want to make sure that, people like Brandon continue that conversation on their platforms.
So
Brandon,
important.
I think what you're doing to be involved, this is admirable, commendable. But what I really keep thinking about as you're sitting next to me is, what do you eat?
Yeah.
How do you get a physique
to
like
maintain
that? I mean,
the
Yeah.
physique, you have to. This is not just.
it's gotta be a
I'm just
24/7
chicken and
process.
broccoli. I
It
mean,
is.
you are.
That's why he moved to Vegas,
stacked.
Rula, so he could get the all-you-can-eat buffets.
Yeah,
take us through
it's
one
a
of your
process,
days
right?
to have a physique.
Well,
like
I didn't
that.
just wake up like this.
No,
I was
no,
a skinny kid. I was 140 pounds, no confidence. And I started eating chicken and breast and rice and started seeing results after 1 week, 2 weeks of consistency. I started seeing my body change day after day. And once I locked in, got my mental right, I got some guidance with a mentor, I got a coach.
I was going to say, did
started
somebody
winning
see
shows.
you and
Yeah.
said, hey, do you want to do this? Because how do you get into bodybuilding? Somebody has to tell you that,
Yeah,
right?
I was in the gym and, hey, you compete? No, I don't compete. What is compete? You know? What is that? Come to a show. Okay, I go to a show. I see men's physique in my division for the first time. I get immediately inspired.
That's
like
great.
these guys are not like Arnold Schwarzenegger big. They're like beach body looks, very athletic look. And for me, with my background, I was very athletic. Anything I ate, I always had abs. So it was like genetically, I was
But
already
what's one of your,
gifted.
take us through a
Yeah, that's
typical
great.
day, like
Typical
to
day,
maintain
eggs
that
and
look.
oats. So 6 meals a day, eggs and oats in the first meal. Basically, meals 2 through 5 is a rotation of chicken breast, steak, white rice, potato. 2
Okay.
through 5. Last meal 6 is usually eggs and oats.
So lots of eggs in your
Oh,
life.
that's interesting. I didn't hear any Wendy's or McDonald's in there.
When you get to vegetables in, do you eat any vegetables?
Of course, yeah, the vegetables are included in, but mostly counting the fats, proteins, and carbs.
And this can apply
That's a lot of
towards
math,
people
man.
like in everyday life too, though. You know,
I mean, you
the
had
key
me at
is-
6 meals. I was
for
like, I'm all in for
anybody.
6 meals.
Yeah, but the key is you've got
That's
to
why
eat
my
throughout
mouth
the
is
day.
open. Like,
You
wait,
gotta
meal
eat
6?
clean.
I'm like,
In order to speed up your metabolism, you actually have to eat a lot of food.
Yeah, you have to
Eat
fuel
more
your
food. Don't be
system.
afraid to eat
Because what
carbs
happens
either.
when you don't eat, your body goes into starvation mode, and you actually can get bigger, right? Like
Yeah.
heavier.
Not the good big.
Well,
You
your
start
body
getting
is
fat and you start
starving.
losing muscle.
Yeah.
That's not the body composition we want,
And
you know.
someone over here never eats any breakfast, and he wonders why things are not
I do
changing.
just before you get here.
Okay, a 12-hour, a 12-hour.
Special K is pretty fit though.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
work out and you have
A
you're
vape
pretty
pen.
disciplined on
But
that.
Kevin eats granola and yogurt every morning,
I'm
and the
working on
yogurt
it.
he wears
This
it on
guy's-
his face.
He's
He's always a
Wears
sloppy
it-
eater up in here. He had salsa today, and he ended up on the
sure.
board.
Look at that
He's got some muscle though. That's because he's getting his breakfast.
We're welcome to the gun
That's
show.
a push-up.
There we go. Look at
Push-up
this. Got
contest.
shows over here.
Oh, I got some
Kevin, just take your
competition.
shirt off.
I got some
Okay.
competition now.
Yeah, would we take a picture when we got, when we're done? Kevin, I want you to flex your arm right next to his.
Yeah.
Put Genesis on both your backs and see who can do as many
There we
push-ups.
go.
Exactly.
Just to give people perspective, because it's radio, you can't see it until it goes up later. I've always we've joked how I have man hands here on the show, and I can't wrap my 2 man hands around one arm. Brandon Hendrickson. It's Brandon Hendrickson,
compliment.
and
Thank
you're welcome. It's Carmen Martinez. Fashionfitnessswim.com. That's where you'll go for their tickets. The event is tomorrow. What time does it start, Carmen?
It's at 7:00. We have sold out of the first row, so we got second row, third row. But once you buy the ticket, complimentary drinks, appetizers, everything's included. So
That's
come in,
great.
have a good time, and let's
So
support our
much
men.
fun. I
Yeah.
really hope you come out and join us because it's a blast.
Well, thanks for being part of this, Brandon, and welcome back to
Absolutely.
Houston for the
Thank
next
you.
for the next round here with Fashion
Yeah.
Fitness Swim.
Thank
You guys have a fantastic event. I hope it's very successful. Thanks, Carmen, for what
Thank
you do,
you.
girl.
Thank